We're back on Buzzin with Beadle. She's Michelle Beadle, as she asked me to call her, our pop culture human.
Yes.
I'm Matthias Wellman. I don't have a fancy title. I'm just the host, I guess, from
That's better.
OddsChecker. Michelle, you asked me to call you the human. I called you the human. I got to go back to the dictionary for another word for next week.
No, human's good. We'll
Okay.
stick. It'll work.
Okay. We kind of talked about this last week. We got award season really starting to get into full swing soon. We got the Grammys coming up at this point. Believe it's next week.
Yep.
It's on a Sunday, so no Golden Globes on a Tuesday, thankfully. And I figured this was probably a good time, just in the same vein as we did with the Golden Globes, just running through the four major categories, the big four as they call them, in the Grammys, to try to see who we think is going to win, what was our favorite, and just really crapping on anything you just really didn't like during the year.
Okay, perfect.
Alrighty, so and I like the Grammys too. I don't know how you feel. I don't know if you have a favorite, but the Grammys, at least in theory, feels a little less pretentious than the Oscars and everything else. But they really do a good way of kind of snuffing that out by.
Well, you know what it is, because you get a concert, so it's a show, right? It's actually entertainment. Fair. The fashion is crazy because it's music, it's not movies, so it's almost like you get rewarded for the crazier the outfit. So for me, I think those are two big pluses in the Grammys category.
That's fair, and also to be fair to the Oscars, I don't know that they can really just like play a short film in between awards. I don't know.
Oh, don't give them any ideas. It's already long enough. We don't want that.
That's fair. Let's start with category number one. We're going to start with record of the year, and we're going to hit record of the year and song of the year. Of course, remember, song of the year has more to do with the actual songwriting. Record of the year has to do with the production and everything like that. And just to make people kind of hate them a little more, for the Grammys, there are about 25 billion songs and albums nominated for each one. But of course, we know good television here, so we're going to read through every single one. But of course, it's also displayed on your screen. So we're going to run through them, and we're going to go through all the odds, and we'll go from there. So we'll start with "Don't Shut Me Down" by ABBA, which my parents are jumping up and down about, I guess. Plus 4,000.
What? I love it, because that's like, oh, cool. It's from years that I remember. Go on.
Yeah, it's timeless, I guess. We have the favorite in the category, "Easy on Me" by Adele at minus 149. Close right behind, or actually in third, I should say, "Break My Soul" by Beyonce at plus 600.
Okay.
"Good Morning Gorgeous" by Mary J. Blige. Again, it is 2023. Just want to remind people.
Love that.
Plus 6,600. If you really want to go back into a time portal here, you have "You and Me on the Rock" by Brandi Carlile featuring Ludacris. Hold on. Let's take a time out. Obviously, you can see it says Lucius there, and I said Ludacris for whatever reason. I don't know. It was a long day. On the top here, you can see a picture of Ludacris holding a bunch of jars of peanut butter. Weird Fast and Furious promo. I don't know. And then on the bottom, you can see a picture of Lucius. I was today days old when I found out Lucius is more than one person. So obviously Ludacris and the Luciuses, the Lucii, whatever you want to call them, don't exactly look alike. So yeah, I'm an idiot. It is obviously Lucius, not Ludacris. And if you listen to the songs, we can't play them because YouTube will knock on our doors and hunt us down, just break down our doors or something. You can tell that it is obviously not Ludacris on this song. Just listen to Ludacris's most popular song. I can't say the name of it. All right. This is for family. Let's roll out. At plus 1,400. I'm going to look, I don't dislike Ludacris, but I'm going to bite my tongue.
It's kind of crazy, but I do think she's hella talented. So that's
yeah,
interesting. Okay.
That is true. Hey, I don't think he's not talented, but
no, it's just funny. It's a funny.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay.
Running down the list. Yes, we got a lot here. "Woman" by Doja Cat at plus 3,300. "Bad Habit" by Steve Lacy at plus 1,000. "The Heart Part 5" by Kendrick Lamar at plus 2,500. "About Damn Time" by Lizzo at plus 1,000. And "As It Was" by Harry Styles, which is second in the odds, at plus 250. Please don't ask me to repeat all of those.
Wow, that's a lot.
Any thoughts? Any favorites? Any picks?
I just sort of laugh because we live in this TikTok time where some of these songs we only know because of that. And then you're like, oh no, it was
Yeah.
an actual song. I do love the timelessness and the consistency of a Mary J. Blige and an ABBA being on here. Kendrick Lamar as well, because Kendrick Lamar, when he comes out with a new album, it's very much coveted and awaited, but it doesn't have the same splash necessarily as an Adele. I mean, the Beyonce, good Lord. I don't know how you compete. For me, it's going to be a battle of those two powerhouse women. It's weird because I feel like if I say Adele in this category, which is the favorite, that it almost opens it up that she's just going to sweep the Grammys. And I don't necessarily agree with that, right? But I'm going to go for this category for record of the year. I think I'm going to give it to Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it to Beyonce on this one. Although you're right. I start to get tricky when it's record of the year album. Yeah, it gets a little bit weird because has it been historical that if you win one, you kind of sweep that? I hope not. That's boring.
I don't believe so, because I think they distinguish it enough, which is good, because if you don't, then it kind of is just like, what's the point?
Right.
But there is usual correlation, I believe, between winning record of the year and song of the year, or then winning album, or a new artist if you are nominated for that. Which, interestingly enough, I may be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think there's any new artist that's nominated, which we'll get to later, that is on any of the other three categories. Which
I think you're right. It's like a whole list of a whole list of what? Okay, so perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a couple of different directions I would go here. I think "Easy on Me" by Adele is the kind of runaway favorite. She's won this category twice at -149. She's again runaway favorite. But I would not discount just the earworm that was, as it was, no pun intended, at +250, or Bad Habit at +1,000. That seems like good value to me.
I agree. The Harry Styles, first of all, he's got a lot of nominations. And I don't know how to process it because I do know so popular. His tour was sold out a gazillion times in each city that he stopped. Crazy. So like I that's where you start to I don't know how to judge it, because if we go off popularity alone, these are very tough contests. And who's voting and who's taking into consideration. I like your pick at Harry Styles. I think that's a good for your money, a good bet. Ooh, it'd be crazy though if he pulls that off. Like,
just for the sake of not going with the favorite of Adele, I'm gonna go with "As It Was" by Harry Styles at +250, and you're rocking with "Break My Soul" by Beyonce at +600.
Yeah, okay, I like this. We're trying to avoid the favorite. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And a lot of these are, they're at +100 or +200 as the favorites. But if you get a category like this and they're, -149, it only seems right to just kind of avoid it.
Okay.
A little bit. Let's have some fun.
All right. I like it.
Let's move on to category number 2. Back at it with ABBA for "Voyage," which surprisingly got 16.7% of all bets via OddsChecker. So that's our official data telling you that about 17% thought that the album, which has plus 3,300 odds, is going to win. So value, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll say take it.
Yeah, I would say in terms of like first cuts, this would probably be there. But running through the other ones, you have 30 by Adele at +275. Un Verano Sin Ti by Bad Bunny at +1,600. Renaissance by Beyonce, -120. Again, we get to that favorite at -120. Good Morning Gorgeous, to note the deluxe version, by Mary J. Blige at +5,000. So I don't know if your girl's gonna be taking it for this one.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
Brandi Carlile at +2,000 in These Silent Days. Music of the Spheres by Coldplay at +5,000. And again, this is really the interesting one, because that got 50% of all bets according to OddsChecker.
What? Somebody knows something we don't know?
Either somebody knows something, or someone's parents are just like, "Oh, screw this! Like, I'm throwing my mortgage on these albums." Like,
right? Like that's okay. I mean, it's cool. I get it. They're kind of perennial powerhouses, but not like this.
Do what you want with your money, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Then you have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar at +1,000. Special by Lizzo at +2,600. And last but not least, Harry's House by Harry Styles at +300. That got 33% of bets on OddsChecker. So at least that one makes a little more sense.
Yeah, it's up there. It should be up there. It's a popularity thing as well. But I also love the name of the album, Harry's House. I think that's good. Okay, so this is a flip flop, right? It's a flip flop at the top between Beyonce and Adele.
Yeah, basically.
It's like I almost just want to do the opposite. I want to take Adele's album and keep it like I had it. So that's what I think I'll do. I know it's not a huge risk money-wise, but I'm going to take Adele for album of the year. I can see her running up there and sort of crying and doing all that. And she had such a weird year with like the canceled thing in Vegas, and now she's back. So yeah, I'm going to go Adele. A lot of tears.
So interestingly enough, I looked this up. So Adele, with back-to-back albums, has won album of the year. So if she wins, I think she would join Stevie Wonder as the only artist to ever win 3 straight album of the years upon their releases, which is pretty nuts.
It's like the Nikola Jokic of music. Can she do it? I don't know.
Well, I thought he wouldn't be able to do it, but we seem to be well past that.
We're heading there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm gonna take this in another direction. I'm not gonna bet on Beyonce because again, she's the favorite at -120.
Yeah.
But I mean, when Adele won, I don't remember what award it was exactly, but she just all the praise went to Beyonce. So I kind of feel like people are gonna be like, all right, we can't give it to Adele again. We can't just keep passing over Beyonce, which is kind of the direction I'm going in there. And like any other award show, the Grammys has been, getting a lot of flack for just their lack of diversity. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with a value pick here. Give me Bad Bunny at plus 1,600, and let's have the Grammys finally recognize like some global popularity.
I mean,
the U.S. popularity.
That would be so exciting. It's the last award of the night, I believe. So it's like, now does he wear the face cover for the Grammys that he's always wearing out in public? I wonder.
I would think so, but if I've learned anything about Bad Bunny, it's that you have no idea what he's gonna wear.
No, he's all over the place. Okay, I actually like that. I like it just as a person who will be probably and definitely watching the Grammys. I like the idea of that shock at the end of the night. I'm in on that. It's exciting.
I'm in. Okay, let's move on to category number 3. We're gonna breeze by these. Again, this is Song of the Year. We already hit Record of the Year. A, B, C, D, E, F, U by Gayle at plus 2,500. You can keep reciting the rest of the alphabet if you'd like.
I love it.
About Damn Time by Lizzo at plus 1,200. All Too Well, all 10 minutes of the version by Taylor Swift at plus 400. So pretty good odds there. As It Was by Harry Styles at plus 350. Bad Habit by Steve Lacy plus 1,400. Your Girl, Break My Soul, Beyonce, plus 800. Easy on Me, As the Favorite, plus 100. God Did by DJ Khaled at plus 4,000. Let me just say, if this wins, I may never listen to music again. The Heart, Part 5 by Kendrick Lamar at plus 1,000. And Just Like That by Bonnie Raitt at plus 2,500.
Okay. Well, I love Bonnie Raitt from back in the day, so it's just fun to see her. The DJ Khaled one's funny because I think they're saying Jay-Z may or may not show up to perform, so it would be that kind of a thing. But for this one, this is where I am going to go. It's crazy that it almost feels like the Taylor Swift nom is their way of giving her something this year. Like, right? Because she's not in the other 2 categories that we've talked about, but she does sit in this one. So I think for that alone, although no song should be that long, nothing should be that long. Fair. I think I'm going to give it to Taylor Swift. I think there's a reason why she popped up on this list.
I will say Pink Floyd would like to have a word.
Yeah, well, it's like Fish. Every Fish fan is like mad at me right now.
Yeah. as much as I want to listen to a 45-minute song, I think.
I can't. Pass. Give me 2.5, 3 minutes, and I'm good.
Yeah. Might be getting an angry phone call from my brother.
Yeah.
In about 30 seconds.
Great.
But I saw a lot of interesting discussion about this Taylor Swift one because her last album didn't make the cut for this year, but I think she already has a couple songs nominated for next year. So some people are like, all right, don't waste your time. Everyone's just going to nominate her and she's going to win next year.
Makes sense.
But she's never won this. And some people call her, whether you agree or not, she's talented. They call her the best songwriter of this generation. And she's never won the award for basically being a very good songwriter.
And if you can write 12 minutes of a song, maybe you get bonus points for that.
Honestly, that's impressive. That's going to be my pick too. I don't know if were you officially going with Taylor Swift?
Yep, officially going with Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both rocking with the plus 400.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to our final category, which is basically throw darts at a board here if you're not super in tune to musical discovery. Every year, we talked about this with the Golden Globes. I like to think that I am, and then I'm like, who the hell are these people?
No, every time. Like there are a few names on here where I know a few obviously, but then there are others where I had no clue who that is. I don't even know what genre of music that is.
I more or less do, or at least that's a lie I tell myself.
I got the top 3. That's it. I'm good on that.
Okay.
I'm pretty good on those.
So running down the list, Anita, runaway favorite, minus 500. Omar Apollo, plus 1,200. Dami and J.D. Beck at plus 3,300. Never heard of them.
Obviously.
Really cool jazz group, apparently.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I would suggest listening to their Tiny Desk. It was cool.
I'm in on that.
Mooney Long, plus 750. Samara Joy at plus 2,000. Lotto at minus 200. So 2 minuses there to look at. Maniskin at plus 650. Toby Nowiwe at plus 2,500. Molly Tuttle at plus 2,000. And of course, who can forget? Wet Leg.
That's the one.
800.
That's the one that I'm going to be deep diving for the rest of today. Yeah. Like Lotto has such a big song, whether it be on TikTok or, if you take spin class or any kind of class, I feel like that is everywhere. Anita's funny because I know she's done some interviews about, doesn't consider herself a new artist at all, been around for quite some time. But if anyone was familiar with the Will Ferrell movie about the European music contest, I think it's called Eurovision, correct? Maneskin was the reigning winner of that. They're an Italian group. They're also known for their amazing Gucci outfits. Like they become the faces of Gucci at this point. Just a kind of right? Like they're just like a sexy, crazy rock band. I'm going to go with them. I like that they're not the favorite because that makes me feel a little more like, ooh, I'm taking a chance here. I'm picking them. But I'm going to go with them for this best new artist.
That is my pick. Begrudgingly.
You don't like it?
I will say, since 2000, and we're already in year 23 since then, which is terrifying. A female solo artist has won 14 times.
Ooh.
So not looking great for us.
No, but you know what? Also, maybe it is looking great. Like it's time.
Maybe, it's time to break it.
Yeah.
I say begrudgingly. I don't know how you feel. And I won't go on too much of a rant, but I hate Maneskin. I don't get it. Like there are so many better versions of Beggin', and like if that's gonna be your song to blow up, for it to be a cover, and look, we talked about
it's true.
TikTok taking over music. I don't get it. I don't get the hype, and it is infuriating. And not to kind of dig myself into that hole, but like whenever there's a really like just popular song that everyone loves and you just don't get it, is just the worst experience.
Well, it is, because now I question like my age and my taste and like what am I missing and stuff like that. No, you're right. For me, I think it's the combination of, I don't know how much of it's musically based or how much of it's just the entire image based, because they do have a thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they've marketed themselves in that way very brilliantly, I think, because I don't know that I would have ever heard of them had it not been for all that extra stuff.
Yeah. Probably, I probably wouldn't have. So I agree. But we have our locks are not so much for the big 4 categories. We're going to be back with you guys this week and next week. We have Valentine's Day coming up and we have the Super Bowl coming up.
Great.
So we have tons of fun left on the show. Michelle, really appreciate you joining. And as our pop culture human, I'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, sir.